But let's talk about some of the perhaps counterintuitive things that you do, because we talk about all sorts of aspects of finance and investing in life in general on the phone, just the two of us. But I'm looking at a number of different bullets that I was hoping to explore. And one is, you've mentioned that you've lived in the same apartment for 10 years. Why do you still rent?
Yeah, I get this question a lot because in America, real estate is religion. And if you're successful, then you're supposed to buy, right? And the old tax deduction, and they're not making any more land, and all these things that we say that we don't really understand. I rent intentionally. I could go buy a place in Manhattan tomorrow with cash, but I don't want to. It doesn't make sense for me financially. And also, I enjoy the flexibility. Just to give you an example, I love that the building that I live in has awesome services. I love that anything that goes wrong, I make a phone call. It started raining last winter, and water started coming through my windowsill. So I made a phone call, and they came up, and they took a look, and they were like, we actually have to replace this part of the roof because it connects, and we have to send someone to the outside of the building. I said, sounds good to me. It doesn't matter to me. I'm going to be out of town for the next few days, so have a blast. I would estimate that repair probably cost in Manhattan on a weekend, probably $25,000, maybe $35,000. I didn't pay it, right? So that's financial. Also a flexibility issue, which is I don't know where I'm going to be 5 years from now. And if you're going to buy and you run the numbers, it makes sense to plan on being there at least 7 to 10 years minimum so that you can sort of eat the cost of the transaction fees. But I think the biggest thing that really surprises people is that in America, we have been told so many times, real estate is the best investment. And in my opinion, that's just not true a lot of the time. Now, I don't think it's a bad investment always, but I always say you should run the numbers. And when I run the numbers in Manhattan, it just makes no sense. I would rather take that money and I would put it in the stock market. And I know consistently what that outcome is going to be over the long term. I don't have to do any repairs. And as we may talk about, I really hate anything that affects my convenience. So I think for a lot of people, I just want people to think like, hey, is it really true that real estate is the best investment? For me, it's not. It's a cost. And I'm happy to pay the cost, just like I'm happy to pay the cost of, a basket of strawberries that I'm going to eat. I don't think I'm throwing money away on strawberries. I don't think I'm throwing money away on rent.